This is We're Gonna Make You Watch.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of We're Gonna Make You Watch. I am Bryan. With me, as always, are my good friends Isaiah and Warren. Warren being the victim, and Isaiah and I's cruel little game where we force him to watch horror movies every couple of weeks, and we get to laugh at it, and sometimes he gets to laugh too. Today's case kind of being one of them because we just had a great time watching Nightmare Beach, a movie that I had actually never seen as well. This was an Isaiah choice, and might I just say before we get too far into the introduction, excellent choice, sir.
I love the movie. I fucking love the movie.
I am a fan. Before we get too deep into that, how have you guys been doing the last couple of weeks?
Hanging in there.
Hanging in there. Yeah, you before we went on the pod. Well, we were actually supposed to record this yesterday. All sorts of shit's getting late because the episode that was supposed to drop the day that we're recording this, I completely got my days fucking confused and it's not up, so it's a day late. So sorry about Piranha 3D, the audio being a day late, y'all. My bad. But yeah, your back's been bothering you.
Back's been fucked up.
Yeah, you say so you're going. Excellent expression, sir. So you said you're going to a chiropractor tomorrow, right?
No, went today because I went.
Oh, you went today. Okay.
Normally I go every 2 weeks, and what happened was not this past Friday, but the Friday before, I rolled out of bed to get up for, to take the dogs out and get ready for the day for work, and something just fell off. I stood up and instantly my whole lower back just tensed up. And it was kind of like that the whole time. Like I have really bad lower back problems, but they've been better over the last 7-8 years because of going to the chiropractor. This is probably the worst it's hit me since I've started going. But even then, it's not nearly as bad as what it used to be. It's more of kind of a nagging thing where it just makes me feel really uncomfortable versus pain. So that's a positive. But like I'm walking like sideways, like I'm leaning to the right because my back is like just so fucked up right now. It's like bending over, sitting down, standing up. Like I can't even lay in a bed right now. It's so bad. Like I've slept awful in a chair or sitting up on my couch for the last week and a half because it's been that bad.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I didn't know you've been carrying that. That's a long time to be going through that. That sucks. Well, hopefully you start to get some sort of relief.
I'm hoping so, because after going to the chiropractor last week, it started feeling better. Well, I've been trying to work on my health and stuff, and I was starting to do the DDP yoga.
Oh, okay.
Stuff. Yeah. And I did it. I felt good, but then my back tensed up again. So I think I just did it a little too soon.
Right.
From probably my back being fucked up. And so back to the chiropractor today. It helped a little bit. It's not as annoying, but it's still kind of annoying. So I've been doing nothing basically than just playing video games in my armchair because I can't really do anything else right now.
Damn. Well, that definitely sucks. I hope you start to get to feeling better soon, man. Yeah. Warren, what have you been up to?
Not a whole lot. Just spreading democracy everywhere I can.
Yeah, you've been playing a lot of Helldivers. We need to try and jump on. So I'm good tonight after I do the Piranha episode.
Yeah, well, Caleb's on right now spreading democracy, so he's
sweet. Okay, so fantastic.
But yeah, no, I've been playing a lot of Helldivers 2. Really fun game, man. It's
I like it.
It's a good one. It's changing the landscape, I think, a little bit.
People are really digging it.
I think it might be similar to the Battle Royale thing. I think some companies are going to kind of copycat it and maybe try to capitalize on that format, but use a different. Like I bet you I'm not gonna bet anybody any money, but I would love to say that I'm confident enough to bet any amount of money that there'll be a Star Wars version of this game before too long.
Oh yeah, wow, that's actually wow. That would be a really really cool idea
And it should
for them.
be and it should be a Mandalorian game if they do it.
I would dig that.
Um,
I would dig
I
that a
would dig
lot.
that. Yeah, that would be really cool.
I think that'd be pretty cool to, like, fight in the Mandalorian War. So then you'd have, like, the harder difficulty you go, then you have, like, Jedi coming out there, and you're like, "Oh my god, get the thing with the thing because you need the thing with the" Um, but no, but I could see some people in the future, like, taking this format where it drops you in this open world, and you have to use different things to deal with the enemies, and it scales
Mhm.
um, with the difficulty that you pick. The beautiful thing about it is that the enemies do not scale. So the enemies that you fight on trivial do the same damage that they would do on hell dive, which is the hardest difficulty. So there is no you do less damage, they do more damage, they nothing like that. It's just simply as you go up in the difficulty, the enemy density increases.
Right.
And then there's only certain types of enemies will only appear on certain difficulties. So
Okay.
Okay.
as you go up into the higher difficulties, then you will start to see tougher enemies. But the enemies that you've already been fighting will show up, but they won't do any more damage. It will be the exact same as if you were still playing on the previous difficulty.
I kind of like that
Okay.
idea.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
why
I thought that's how you had explained it to me the last time we played,
yeah.
and I think that makes sense. I like the way they do that.
Yeah,
Smart.
because I think that creates genuine um challenge.
Hmm.
I think we have too long in video games, we've gone the route of, "Hey, when you play on easy, they only do this much damage. Then you put it on hard and they one shot you." And you're like, That's not how that should go. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
when you raise the difficulty, like, make it challenging, add a another maybe add a mechanic to how I have to kill these guys. Not that they do more damage or I do less damage, but maybe now, like, I have to take the shields off of them or something. Like,
Hmm.
basically, the way I view it is they are saying, "Hey, when you go to this planet and you start out on the lower levels, like, we're slowly exposing you to what it's fully capable of, right? So,
Okay.
drop you
Yeah.
in on trivial, and it's just like a little bit of little bugs, and then we put you on easy, and then there's a little bit of bugs, and then, like, these slightly bigger bugs, and then we put you on medium, and then, hey, there's some bigger bugs than that, but they're all there. It's just, at your leisure, you can kinda move up and say, "Okay, now I'm ready to deal with the next wave," because by the end of it, it's just throwing it all at you at the same time. So they try to ease you in with the difficulties and say, "Hey, at this point, this is what will spawn, and nothing higher than this will spawn. So if you're not ready to move past this, just play on this difficulty
Yeah.
and learn how to deal with these enemies. Then when you feel like you can kind of kill all these groups of enemies consistently together, move up to the next level, see what happens when the thing that you've never seen before spawns in on you and you don't know how to kill it. You got to figure it out. And then when you figure
Right.
out that you need something that you don't have, then you go get that. But I just been pumping a lot of hours into that. I started the last epoch today. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw
um
you playing that. I had heard of that game. Yeah, what are you thinking so far?
It's not bad. I had some kind of technical issues with the game for a little while that made me almost stop playing it because made a rogue, got to the main social area, and then they were like, "Hey, go do this mission." And then I got in the middle of the mission and tried to load into the next area, and the game kept crashing
Ah,
every
lovely.
time I
That
clicked
sucks.
on loading it to that area, and I was like, "Cool, this game's not getting played." And then I uninstalled it, reinstalled it, and it's been working. So but I've been enjoying it. It's pretty cool.
Good deal. Hell yeah. What have I been doing? Buying a house. Pretty much it. That's taken up all my time. And that's it. That's all I got to say. I've been buying a house, but I close in a week and Yeah, it's nerve-wracking and exciting all at the same time. And rent prices
Yeah,
are
let's talk about rent right now.
yeah, this is going to be an interesting podcast. We're just scared of fucking away every listener we got, every viewer we got. I apologize, guys. I promise we're going to get to this, guys. But fuck rent, man. Like rent is so expensive.
I agree.
My mortgage is going to be like $500 cheaper than the lowest rent I was finding. So I was like, I'll just fuck it. I'll just buy a house. I wanted to rent a nice apartment and just get from my, which isn't a shithole. I don't live in a shithole by any means. It's a nice place, but I wanted to move into a nicer place.
Yep.
And boy, they are proud of their nicer places. I tell you, it was like $1,700, $1,800 for rent. And I'm like, well, fuck it. I'll just buy a house. And I'm owning my own house for less than that. So yeah, I close in a week, and I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to decorating it and getting all the cool things. And I'm gonna have a little office that's gonna have like all my horror shit set up again.
That'll be good.
Yeah, I'm excited
I
for
won't
that
feel
because
alone anymore.
yeah, my backdrop's gonna be as cool as yours. Ish. you got some fucking cool shit. But I got some neat. Yeah, you got Chadwick Boseman and Chadwick Boseman. That's cool shit, bro.
All my stuff is like on the sides. Like I got the collection over here. I got my Chiefs set up over here.
Yep. You do have a lot of Chiefs stuff. I bought a Chiefs jersey the other day. Did I tell you about this?
No, you didn't.
Okay, so I went to I've been I got into soccer, right? So I've been going to a lot of the Sporting KC matches. So I went to Rally House. I was like, yeah, you know what? I get a couple more things, So I bought a T-shirt and a jersey and shit. And I get up to the checkout counter, and I'm like the fucking 8-year-old distracted by a pack of fucking gum. Except the pack of gum is a Derek Thomas jersey, and it's considerably more expensive. Now, I'm not a Chiefs fan per se. I do like the Chiefs, but I love Derek Thomas. Like, Derek Thomas is one of the greatest linebackers ever to play the fucking game. So they had this gorgeous Derek Thomas jersey. So, of course, I bought it. $160 later, I was rolling out with a really dope Derek Thomas jersey. So now I own 2 pieces of Chiefs gear. So when the Ravens ain't playing, and I'll put my Derek Thomas jersey on, and I'll be happily supporting the Chiefs. So, but yeah, that's what I've been doing. Spending money on vinyl, jerseys, and houses.
Like it.
Yeah, good times, good times. All right, let's get into this fucking movie. Okay, so Isaiah, you've got to tell me about your history with this movie. Where where the fuck did you see this movie for the first time?
First time I saw this was on USA Up All Night. So this is way back when, back when Monster Vision was a thing, and then you had Up All Night.
So was that like that was USA's equivalent to TNT's Monster Vision? Is okay.
Yep. Because
was there a cool host?
You had Rhonda Shear or Gilbert Godfrey. Were the
Gilbert fucking Godfrey? Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
So because that's where I found a lot of stuff, like obviously that movie, it's the first time I saw a lot of the Friday the 13th movies, like the 5th and the 6th one I remember seeing on Up All Night. Nightmare 2 I saw on Up All Night for the first time. So there's a lot of movies, obviously, just like Monster Vision and all that, because I grew up with all that, especially on the weekends and stuff. Because I think Up All Night was on Fridays or something like that. It could have been Saturdays too. I don't quite remember, because that's 30 plus years ago. But yeah, so that's the first time I remember seeing this movie in particular. And then obviously I've gotten on DVD and now Blu-ray, and it's just a fun movie, honestly. It's a lot of fun to watch. It's just so fucking out there, with especially like the kills, the killer's just electrocuting everybody in various different ways. It's just fucking fun.
That was very much one of the highlights for me, was the kills in this. So this was this is the first time I've seen this movie as well. So, Warren, what are your initial thoughts on Nightmare Beach?
It was pretty funny, actually.
Okay.
It's the kills were pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
I you don't ask me for a favorite one because all of them were really good.
You laughed at every single one. It was great.
I laughed at every single one, and all I could think to myself is, "What have I become?"
We've corrupted him.
We've got him.
Yeah.
We've got him, guys.
Yeah. No, it was pretty cool. But yeah, the concept of the movie is pretty wild. I think that the swerve at the end was actually pretty cool. Because I actually didn't see that coming.
I was wondering
And
if either of you guys were going to figure that out.
I knew that it wasn't Diablo, but
Mhm.
I didn't have no idea who the fucking killer was, and that threw me for a loop too.
yeah,
Because I think right before they got demasked, I said, "It's my little what did I say? It's my little pickpocket fucking dude."
yeah.
'Cause
I said it was the sister. I was
you
like,
did. You
oh,
said it's a
I was way
sister.
off. I was way off. I wasn't on it.
She-
And it's funny because usually I pay attention to the fact that like his character is not in the movie a whole lot. So I'm like, oh,
right.
he's never really around when stuff's going on, but he never talks when he's wearing the helmet and stuff. So you really don't know
Mhm.
who it is. But uh if I it's hard, but if I had to pick a favorite kill, it would be between the random girl that got burned to death and had her whole DNA melted off of her
Dude.
body.
The Indiana
Or
Jones face melt thing. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
great.
or the very first kill because of the context in which she asked for a ride.
Yeah.
And he started going so fast, she was like, stop, I want to get off. So he stopped and then electrocuted her.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
And then she just fell off. So it
Yeah.
was like, yeah, that's pretty wild. That's pretty
Yeah,
wild.
that was yeah, this movie was fun, dude. I like this movie. I like this movie a lot, actually. This movie is fucking badass. It's like Shocker meets Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, kind of.
Some shit like that. But it's like it's an Italian horror movie at its core. It's almost like because it's actually directed by an Italian horror filmmaker.
Mhm.
But it's kind of got like that kooky giallo type feel to it.
I mean, you can definitely see that, especially by Umberto Lenzi is the one that wrote the movie.
Yeah,
so
he's also the director. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, he wrote it. But yeah, it's got a super kooky feel and a fun cast too. We obviously mentioned last episode that John Saxon, the greatest cop in horror cinematic history,
Yep.
is in this movie. This movie came out. He did this about 5 years after Nightmare on Elm Street. And Michael Parks is in this. He's very young at the time, but Michael Parks, some of his later work, he worked with Kevin Smith in Tusk and
Red State.
Red State, and he was fantastic in Red State and good in Tusk as well. But
Mhm.
he was fucking fantastic in Red State. But it also has, and you guys ain't. He was the Raleigh Valverde is the actor's name, but he played Ronnie Rivera, the hero Skip's buddy.
Okay.
Raleigh Valverde, I recognized him when I saw him, and I was like, I know that fucking guy. You guys
No,
weren't
answer's no.
old enough to be
Yeah.
in school to have Channel 1 at the beginning of your day, were you?
No.
So when I was in middle school, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, we would get into school, we'd get to our homeroom,
Mhm.
and the first 15 minutes of the day, we would watch a program on TV called Channel 1 News. And it was basically news targeted for middle schoolers.
Okay.
And he was an anchor on that shit. And I recognized right when I saw it, I was like, that's the fucking dude from Channel 1 News, man. And I was right. It's not on his IMDb list. I had to go to Channel One's Wikipedia page.
That's
and I was like,
hilarious.
was Raleigh? And I found it anchors and I scrolled all the way down. And near the very bottom, Raleigh Valverde. I was like, I fucking knew that guy. Because he also played in the movie Made in America with Ted Danson and Whoopi Goldberg.
Okay.
He played Diego in that movie. He does not have a lot of acting credit. I think his last acting credit was in 1999. And I don't know what he. I stopped reading at that. I don't know fuck what he does now. So I hope he's happy. Whatever. But yeah, Raleigh fucking Valverde from Channel One News. But yeah, he plays in this as well. This movie is a fucking blast. I'm gonna buy this motherfucker. I liked it so much. I'm gonna own this. It was also called Welcome to Spring Break. Probably I assume overseas or something.
I would imagine so, yeah.
But yeah, we'll take our viewers and listeners through a very quick synopsis. And then you'll understand why I came up with the Sons of Anarchy meets Shocker reference. So this movie starts off with a very angry and just upset-looking Diablo, leader of the Demons motorcycle gang. He's getting ready to be executed for the murder of a young woman. He proclaims his innocence in the most professional and mature way of saying, I didn't kill her, bitch, or whatever the fuck he says. But yeah, he's adamant that he didn't do the shit, but they strap him in. He talks shit to Stryker, the cop that arrested him, played by John Saxon, and Michael Parks plays a doctor / coroner, and they zap the fuck out of him. He dies. They check his pulse. He's dead. Blah blah blah. We flash forward to roughly a year later. Spring break has come to Miami. And all these people party, just envelop the city, and they start partying. We're introduced to 2 football players, one of them named Skip, the other one Ronnie. Ronnie is my homeboy, Raleigh Valverde. Skip is played by Nicholas de Toth. I don't think I've seen him in anything else ever.
No.
But whatever. He apparently plays a quarterback who sucks. He plays. I guess he's a first round draft pick according to my boy Raleigh Valverde. But he apparently threw an interception that cost him the national championship, and I don't even know if it says what school they go to at all.
No,
but
it did, but it did say they played in the Orange Bowl.
Yeah, that's
right.
about all they said.
Played in the Orange Bowl, yeah. So who played in the Orange Bowl in 1989? The losing quarterback is Skip. So while spring break's occurring, a mysterious biker appears and begins to start taking people out in the most hilarious and awesome of ways. Mostly dealt with electrocution and shock therapy treatment and flames coming out of their eyeballs and all sorts of awesome shit. It's a super fucking fun time. At its core, it's a slasher film / whodunit kind of potential supernatural kind of movie that we find out at the end is not a supernatural type of being at all, but it is the father of it's the father, and he of a whore. That basically is a really, really disgruntled father of a girl who's just going around and apparently just fucking everything that moves, and he's upset about it, so he's killing all these horny kids off. I don't think I missed too much. I think that's a very fair synopsis.
And a lot of rip-off Power Ranger music.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up because I forgot about it. And you kind of pointed it out, Warren, but it does when this biker enters on the scene. It's like, it's like fuck yeah.
I
Oh
was like,
man.
man, that's crazy. That's what made it wild. Like every time he would kill somebody, that music would come on, and I was like, how could you be afraid? It's like it makes it feel like it's action time. Here we go, and you're like,
It's morphin' time.
it's killing time.
Too fucking funny. Well, yeah, I'm glad you had as much fun with that as I did, buddy. And I'm glad you introduced that to us. I said
Yeah.
because this is gonna be I'm gonna buy this motherfucker. I'm gonna own this son of a bitch.
Yeah,
Um
that was pretty wild, but
so you at the end of the day, you liked it? You had fun with it?
yeah, I think about halfway through, I was like, man, this just feels like a movie. This don't even
Right?
feel like a horror movie. Like I'm like, it's just a movie. Like, dang, this is crazy. He just electrocuted the lady in the elevator and her face blew up. That's wild. Uh, I hope they
Oh
figure this
man.
out before somebody else get. Oh, look, there's another one. Dang, that's crazy. Oh no.
Yeah. I did notice that my favorite character did clearly survived the movie.
Yeah.
The guy that was pickpocketing everywhere. He was like the most opportunistic, smooth pickpocket thief in the history of horror cinema, and he didn't get killed. But he also, I think you're right. At the end of the movie, they could have had him sneak up and pickpocket one more person and just kind of get away. That
It
would
would
have
have been the
been a really
perfect
funny.
ending.
Yeah, that would have been a perfect missed opportunity.
I feel
Um,
like the last person he should have pickpocketed should have been the father.
oh,
Like with
the killer.
yeah, like he should have gotten him, and
Yeah.
and that's why he was able to get away because he like didn't touch the bike. He just touched the stuff. Like he just touched his pockets and
Yeah.
got the wallet.
Yeah, that was a fun fucking movie, dude. I thank you again because that
Yeah.
was a good choice and a blast, and a pretty good way to kind of wrap up like the spring break portion of our podcast. And we might get back on track of like maybe try to do like some theme kind of things.
Mhm.
But I got a message just as we were getting ready to start recording this. You asked me if I had anything in mind, and I do. And I suggested it, or I mentioned it to you, and you said you liked it. So I think we're going to go with this. Warren, for our next episode, we're going to make you watch Return of the Living Dead.
I thought you were gonna say vampires, and I was like, cool, I can do vampires, but
Well, you can also do Living Dead. Yeah. So, have you ever seen Return of the Living Dead?
no,
Okay, gotta ask every time.
Perfect.
It's
yeah.
part of the script.
One
This is
of these days, the answer is gonna be yes. I don't know when, but
yeah. One of these days, it should. One of these days, I hope that happens because then we gotta go. Oh shit! Well, we've got a backup plan, and here comes a new challenger.
yeah.
This is a 1985 horror comedy written and directed by Dan O'Bannon. Dan O'Bannon is very famous in the horror movie scene,
Mhm.
as he is the screenwriter for the original Alien, right?
Yep.
I believe that's correct. Yeah, Dan O'Bannon. He wrote Alien, which is one of the greatest horror films ever made, and it's a fucking slasher. It's a slasher with
Yep.
an alien. And we'll probably make you watch that one of these days too. But yeah, Dan O'Bannon wrote and directed The Return of the Living Dead. It's a funny as hell zombie movie. It's got a kick-ass punk rock soundtrack. I
Yep.
actually own the vinyl. I have the vinyl soundtrack. And I do have a Return of the Living Dead hat that I might have to wear for that episode when we record
Nice.
that some of it. I got a T-shirt too. I love Return of the Living Dead.
Oh, it's such
super
a good
fucking
movie.
cool.
It's the
Yeah.
it's the main movie I gotta watch right before the 4th of July. I mean,
Oh, that's great. I love it.
it's
So we're knocking that out, kind of. Well, and then you get to watch it again
yeah.
because we're watching it a little earlier. So we're not that fucking far ahead.
No.
But but yeah,
But we are coming
yeah.
into the summer months, so it's kind of
we are
it's
coming
kind
into
of
the
fitting.
summer months. It's a good time, yeah. we might be able to squeeze in maybe a shark movie or something. Something with some more sand.
Maybe
This had
another
a lot of
Friday
sand.
movie.
Yeah, maybe another Friday movie. I like that. That'd be fun too. And then we could start maybe knocking out some nightmare movies too.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think you're gonna enjoy Return of the Living Dead. This is a very good movie. We're talking about a movie that's got like a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes from the critics. So this is we're introducing you to horror royalty next episode. So I really hope you like it. I think you will. I think you'll have fun with it. Do you guys have anything that you want to add before we slide out of this?
Just make sure to check out the video episodes on YouTube, and obviously TikTok. You can find like little snippets before episodes release. And yeah, just keep checking the shit out.
Yeah, and you guys have been doing it, and we appreciate it. Warren, you got anything you want to throw at them?
Nah, man.
No,
just
nah, you good. I do got if anybody got a cheap refrigerator, I am in the need.
Oh man,
That's the only thing my
love it.
house needs that I'm buying is a fridge. Oh shit. All right, guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in, and thank y'all so much for the amazing support, and we will catch you on the next episode.